ReactJS beginner to advanced series. Today we have to cover a lot. Means yesterday we were not able to do much. There were some questions were being asked, but it's okay. I was able to answer some question that was good. So let's get started and let's get started with the day two. And because I want to cover this class based in by tomorrow, I want to cover and last 2 days it will be hooks. So that's the reason I'm in a bit of a hurry and all. So this is what we created last, and we understood one major one very important topic of props here, one very important topic of props we understood here. So the next topic which we need to understand is the state. We need to understand the concept of state. Now state is a very important concept. Okay, state is a very important concept, and state and lifecycle matters are the one thing which actually have given the class based component the class based thing. Okay, so because of them their class based component were earlier superior than the functional component, but now they're all equal because of the introduction of hooks. This all these things are in the class based also. Okay, all these things are in the is functional also, not classes. Okay, so that is there. And see, one thing I think I have already told in JSX, this class name is like it's like the HTML class is also known as class name. Okay, that is there. So now we're going to look into the state, and for state we're going to create a new file. And let me also comment out these things. Comment out these things. So nothing will be shown. Then I'm going to create a new component called counter.js. Counter.js will be there, and RCC and export default counter. Default counter and const. So the constructor is there. Okay, so here I think we have not looked into constructor till now. Okay, let me write something now. First, count of 0. So constructor is something which comes in the class based component. We all know in the class based we have this constructor thing, because this will come from the ES6, and this will run only one time when this component is been loaded. Like we are going to load this by having this. We don't have a concept of objects and all those things here. Okay, so I'll do this counter like here, like this, and it will be done there. Okay, let me save it, and let me save it, and the counter will be shown. Okay, so in the constructor, first thing is that there is a super props. What is the super props? Super props is something. Super props is something which is required because we are extending from a components from a React. We are extending from the components, so the super props is required. Then there is this dot state is there. This dot state in which I am taking the count as 0. This is the main thing. So state variable are the main thing in a React application. So in this dot state, and we have this keyword in JavaScript, and mainly the class based component we have this keyword. So this dot state means like it's like a means this is again a complicated topic in JavaScript, but you can think it like a var. Think it like a var which have access to the whole of the class. That's why we have taken this with the this dot state, or both of them are a keyword. And then it's an object which have a count of 0. Count of 0 means key is 0, value is 0, and we want to show this value actually. Okay, so let me show this value in the h1. How do I show this value in the h1? This count I'll do, and then this dot state dot count. This dot state dot count also. See, the count of 0 has been shown. Count of 0 has been shown. So this is how it has been shown. So now we will have a click here. So click event here, and with that click event, what will happen? One sec. Okay, because I want to see what you. I have another laptop also in which I see what you people are. It is not in front of me. Yeah, good evening, Ankit. Okay, I have to revolve and see. Okay, so this state dot count is there, and in this count will be 0. It has been shown. Okay, so like this, and now we will have a button, and that button will increment this count. So how to do that? So let us do that, and for that Again, we need to have this fragment. We know this fragment from the earlier class. So I will have this fragment, and inside this count will go, and then I will have a button, and button, and button will be like increment, and on click will be equal to this dot increment count, this dot increment count. So we have function. Okay, on click handler in React, everything is camel case, C is capital, and then this dot increment count is like a function again. So we are going to call this function here. So classes also have function. So we'll call this function here like this, and then I'll have a this dot set state. So what is this dot set state? Actually, with this function only, you can update the count. We are soon going to see why. Why is it? See, in this dot set state, why I'm taking what I'm taking? I'm taking an object. In this count I'm taking, and count I'm making as this dot state dot count plus one. So I want to increase it. So I'll save it. But if I come here and inspect and do the console, and if I go here and click on this, I will get an error like this. Cannot read state of undefined. We are going to see this error later on, and later on also, I mean soon, and we are going to fix it with 4 ways. But right now we need to fix it, and this error comes because of this keyword. See, this keyword is a very complicated thing in React. That's why React is moving toward functional based component. This keyword is actually very complicated things. I told you that with this dot set, you will get access, and this you will have access to the state throughout this. But the problem is that sometimes that this keyword causes a problem. What is the problem here? This keyword in all its instances, it should belong to this class counter, but it is not there. Okay, so here the problem is that it is now undefined. We're going to see that soon. For that, you have to bind this keyword, and this is a JavaScript problem. This is not a React problem. And there is one way in which we are going to bind this thing. Later on, we'll see other 3 ways also to bind this thing. So here we're going to bind this thing with this dot increment count equal to this dot increment count dot bind it. So we're going to bind it like this, and the error will be solved. Okay, so I will do a inspect and the console, and we're going to see some very easy way to do this thing. Okay, so don't go deep into this keyword. This keyword is very complicated, but I'm going to have a JavaScript advanced to master series next month, and then we're going to go a bit more into this. Okay, so I'll do this count. So this count is getting 1, count is getting 2, everything is working fine. So this is how it works. So why everything is working fine and all. So back to the question, back to that question, why we are using this dot set state? Why cannot we do something like this? Okay, I will comment this out. I will inspect, go to console. What I'm going to do, I'm going to directly do this. Why to do this this dot set state and all these things? So I'll do this dot state dot count equal to this dot state dot count plus 1. This is a state dot count. This is a state dot count plus 1. I'll also do a console dot log of this dot state dot count. So these 2 things I'm going to have. Save it. Now let us see whether it is working or not. Our increment count is getting incremented. Count is getting incremented, but the problem is that here it is not incrementing. Actually, the count is incrementing. Count is 12 right now, but here it is not incrementing. Why it is not incrementing there? See, there is a property in React, and one of the things in React is that the virtual DOM thing is there. Not much theoretical I want to tell. So what happens? Somehow these things need to be refreshed. Even in JavaScripting, you need to have some complicated logic for this, like document.query selector kind of a logic you need to have. But here, somehow you need to refresh this thing, and for that specific reason, this render function is there. What this render function actually does, when this render function will run, then only this will be shown. I mean, it is sort of a refresh without a refresh. There will be no refresh here, but it is actually refreshing the DOM. So how does that work? So that means this dot state dot count will also change the state count, and this will also change the state count. But this dot set state has got a special feature, which that is it rerun the render function. It rerun the render function. That is very much important. Okay. So now I will comment this out because this code will not work. I will uncomment it out. Save it. I'll go here and I will refresh it, and I will do a increment. See now It is increment, fine. But since you have opened the console, we're seeing another problem here. See, it is 8, it is 9, this is 9, this is 10, this is 10, this is 11, this is 12, this is like this. It is always one behind, it is always one behind. So this is not a problem actually, but this actually happens because this dot set state is very fast. The moment I do the this dot set state, it will come to the render and increment it, and after that it will come to the line number 17 and do the this dot set state dot count, which is like one, always means it will be behind. So how to fix that thing? Actually, not to fix that thing also, there's one more thing which I need to tell. That is there this is a special kind of case. Okay, so we're going to look into two special cases. One of them is this one. So that special case is like sometime what happens, even if this dot set state goes to this return, I need to run some function. I need to run some function, and for that there is a special case here. I will come here and do like this, and then I'll do this, and I'll do a console.log. Actually, this console.log I'll move it here. But in real production code, what happens, you write a function or something here. So I'll write this here and the console.log, and I will save it. Now see this thing. Okay, now if I increment it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so this 9 is there, and see this, it is also 9. So this is now okay. So that is done. Now we are going to look into another special case. In that, I will have another button, and button, and I will have a button known as increment 5, and the on click will be equal to this dot increment 5. Okay, this dot increment 5. So this dot increment 5 is a new function, increment 5, like this. And then what it will do actually, and first thing is that you have to bind this thing, or it will not work. This dot increment 5 equal to this dot increment 5 dot bind this, and this dot increment 5 will just call this increment count 5 times actually. Okay, this dot increment count, this dot increment count 5 times it will call. Okay, so now let me do this, and let us see that whether it is actually working or not. This is working like fine, but let us see whether this is working. Okay, 3, this is not working. Actually it is only increasing 1, but actually it ran for the 5 times. So it'll be this 5 will just think for that reason. Why it is doing that? Because React is doing a performance optimization. Why React is doing this performance optimization? Because see, in React what happens, this render function is like although we're running it a lot of time, you'll not see the difference. But in bigger project which have like 1 lakh lines of code, this render function, if runs too much time, it causes a problem. So React, what it does for internal performance thing, if it's seeing that somehow you're increasing the set state at a very fast rate, like here I'm just increasing 1 2 3 4 5 very fastly, so it will do some performance optimization and send it once only. So but this is not a bug, this is right in our case. So we need to do a different thing. We need to do it through a set state, and this thing you should only do if you get this kind of a error, or else you should not do it. Okay, for this, first thing is that I am going to remove this thing, and this thing also let me remove it. And then I will, instead of this count and all like this set state, we have something like a previous state. Okay, previous state is not a keyword, you can use prev count also, previous state like this. And then in a function I'll pass. Okay, it's a function, it's the arrow function we are doing, and then the count is previous state dot count plus 1. Now I'll come here, and now let me see, this is working fine, and this is also working fine, this is also working fine. Okay, so this is how it is done. So the cases of set state also we have done. So now we will move to the next thing, and state is there. This is the state, how and all state is work. Okay, so now we are going to move to the next thing, which is known as destructuring. Okay, and for that we need to move back to our this thing, this greetings things. We need to move back because we are going to learn about destructuring now. Destructuring is a shortcut in React. Okay, okay, like this, and this is coming again, a ES6 concept will be there. See, a lot of ES6 concepts are there. Okay, so first thing is that I'll do this in the greetings. So I'm updating the greetings now. So okay, greeting is not imported because This is not this, like this I'll do. And see greetings is coming. Anyway, I'll close this out. So greetings is showing like this. So what is this destructuring? So let us open this greetings. I'll open this greeting. And destructuring means instead of having this whole props thing, I can do a object destructuring here. So when I was teaching this ES6, I told that it is very important. Okay, this object destructuring thing is very important. So I'll come here in the props and do the destructuring here and name, comma children. Name, comma children I'll do, and console.log props. I'm going to remove it like this. And then what I will have, I don't have to write a complete thing up. So it's only a shortcut, but it's a very important shortcut because you are getting rid of two things. In a bigger project, you have like a lot of things. So this is a one way to do destructuring in a functional component. See, no error is there, nothing is there, everything is fine. This is one way. Actually, in the function component, another way to do destructuring, and that way is like this whole things. I will make it back to props, and then here I'll have a const name equal to props. I'm going to do equal to props. I'm going to do, and I'm going to save it. Here I'm doing a proper object destructuring. No issues there. So this is how the design. Now we're going to see how to do this in a class based. Okay, how to do it in a class based. So let us see that, and I'll do that and save it. And welcome is not defined. I'll do come here and do this and save it. So it is like this. And then now next go to the welcome. So this welcome is there, and here there is only one way to do destructuring. Why there is no one way? Because there is no nothing like this. This parameter is getting passed in a class base. So here, how we do the destructuring? We do it through like this. Okay, like this we do the destructuring, but inside the render. That is also important. But the thing is, there is no this props. There is no props. There is a this dot props is there. This dot props is there. This dot props is there, and this dot props dot name is there. So I can remove two words. I can remove two words. So I'll remove these two words, and all I will save it. I'll save it and see how it is done. So it means no issues there. It is working fine. It is working fine. So this is how the destructuring is done. So now destructuring is also done. Now we are going to again look into that event handling thing, which we have faced in some time back, where event handling in the counter we face this event handling thing, and earlier, and then we have to use this bind method. As I told, there are actually four methods, total four methods. It is actually a very old method. React, it is a method from 2015. It is not a method for 2022. 2022 we use a new method. So let us see that. Let us see that. Okay, so we'll come here and we will create a new file, and that is like, let us do that. In the components we'll have a event bind dot j event bind dot js, and rcc will be there, and export default event bind, and this, and this is there. Now I'll have a r const. We are again going to have that same, not like this. What is that? R const is actually shortcut. Okay, so that is there, and we'll have a message here, and message will be like hello world. Message will be hello world, like this. I'll have a x, and now I'm going to save it. Now I will have inside this div, maybe I'll have a h1, and h1 will be having this dot state dot message, and there will be a button, and it will be click, and this will be on. Click is equal to this dot handle click, and this handle click will be like, again we're going to face the same issue. So this dot set state is like, okay, is like not goodbye world, hello React, do the next thing. And now we have to show this event bind. Event bind. I'm going to show the event bind like this. Let me comment out this whole thing. So event bind will be showing like this. Okay. And as we know, we will get an error here because that thing is will get error. So why we are actually getting an error? Let me quickly comment this out and do a console.log of this, only the this keyword. Actually we are getting the error because of the this keyword. So I'll save it and I'll click it that this keyword is undefined. This keyword should not have been undefined and we are getting the error because of that. So this keyword should be this event bind. It should be this event bind. Okay, so now there are four ways to solve that issue and one of the way is this thing. Okay, so let us now see the first way to solve it, and that way is not to bind, use bind in the constructor. We can use the bind directly here. How we can? Okay, again I will uncomment this out. And how we are going to use a bind here? Like it is like dot bind and this dot bind and this I'm going to do dot bind this I'm going to do, save it. Now I'm going to click it and see it changed to hello react. And see, this is not the event bind, this should always be this class. This is like this event bind class, so this is how it is working, so this is fine. So now this is the method number one. Method number two, we all know what is the method number two. And method number two, like let me do one thing. And method number two, because we've just done the method number two, in method number two is like the bind will have here this dot handle click equal this dot handle click dot bind this. I'll save it, I'll clear it, and I'll run it, and it is running fine, and it is even one. This we know. So actually these two are very old method. We use the method number 3 and method number 4. So method number 3 is something which we use 5% of the time, but we used it when we used it in a special scenario. Okay, let me do one thing. We use, and that is related to arrow function. Okay, that is related to arrow function. And here what we are going to do like this, and I'm going to have an arrow function called here. It's calling a arrow function. Okay, I'll also comment out this so that this is not into play. So I'll do like this, and then I will come and click it here. See, now the event bind is now shown here, and event bind is shown here. Console.log this, and this is fixed. The arrow function bind this very well. Arrow function bind this very well. So that is one of the property of arrow function, and it is binding the this keyword very well. So one of the major feature of arrow function was that only. That was the reason in 2015 arrow function was taken. It is not for the syntax and all. And actually this way, as I've told, you are going to use this 5% of the time, because this way we are only going to use if you are going to pass something here. Pass something here, then only we are going to use. And we're soon going to pass something. Okay, the main way, 95% of the time, which we are going to use, now I'm going to show that way. Okay, and that way is like very simple way. We are not going to do any binding, we are not going to call your arrow function, we are simply going to make this function as arrow function. And so this is a golden rule from now onwards, only arrow function, no normal function in any way, any place. This arrow function is there, I make this arrow function, click it here, hello react will come. So this is how this will work, this is how this will work. And this is how the four ways to fix it. Okay, so that is there. Now the next thing which we are going to do is method as props. Method as props means what? See, one thing I'm going to tell. In React, I'm passing the data like data passing is a bit problem in React. Okay, for that there are many solutions. Data passing in the sense means from app to the greeting, I was passing the data, and I was passing the data through props. I was passing the data through the props, and I was passing like that. Okay, through the props I was passing. But if I want to pass the data in the opposite direction, that is from the child to the parent, how do I do that? From the child to the parent, I'm passing the data. So how to do that? So for doing that, we need something known as material props. React is not like Angular that we have two-way binding or something. Okay, we don't have. We have to use a small trick which the React people also know, and that is passing the method as props. Method as props functions are also known as methods. So that trick we are going to use. How to use that trick? How we are going to get that issue? So let us do that. So first thing is that we are going to have a component known as parent parent component.js and RCC, and then export default parent component like this. Okay, then we'll have our const like this, and we'll have a parent name, and it is a Robin Singh, and we'll have a function as greet parent, and we'll make it as an arrow function, right? Because we know if you don't make it an arrow function, we'll face some issue. And then we'll have an alert, and like this, hello, this dot state dot parent area. Okay, so now from here, what will happen? We'll have another component called as a child component.js, component.js, and it is not required to be a class component, because we're not going to have some state concept here. So I'm doing this RAFCE, and inside this we'll have a simple button, and this button will be called greet parent. Greet parent, it will be called as greet parent. So okay, I forgot to include this parent 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 component like this. I'm going to and save it. So okay, so also I will have this child component be called from here. So I'll see this greet parent. So the main thing is that this I want to pass something from the child component to the parent component, which is the opposite direction. So for that, the first thing what I need to do, I need to establish a communication in the opposite direction. So how to establish a communication in the opposite direction? To establish a communication in the opposite direction, what I am going to do actually, from here in the parent, I'm in the child component, I'm going to pass this this function's reference, and I'm naming it as greet handler, I'm naming it, and then this I'm going to do as this dot greet parent. This dot greet parent means this one will call, this dot greet parent means this one will call. Okay, this dot greet parent, okay, I'm sending this as props. So I will get this props here, and then here in the button, and I'll have on click here, and in this I'll call the props dot greet handler, props dot greet handler. I'm calling, means I'm calling the back, I'm calling this thing, so I'm passing the props, and I'm calling the props back here in the props dot greet handler. So what will happen when I call this props dot greet handler? It will come back here, and this dot greet parent will be called. It means that this alert will be thrown. So let me go here and do this, and this alert is from hello Robinson. So the main thing, we are not yet passing the data. We are established the communication. So now the next thing is that we are going to pass the data. So how to pass the data? We are going to pass the data through your that arrow function way, which we have recently seen this way, because if you call the arrow function in this way, I can pass some data here. So how I'll do that here? So here, first thing is that I want to make it to a this like this. Okay, like this I'm going to make, and then this greet handler is there, and then I'm going here, and I will call here. So this thing I'm going to call. Okay, so then I'm passing this child name. Now here I don't have to do anything. I'll get this name here, name, and I am going to do from $name, save it. Now I'll go to this greet parent. Now click it, see from. So this thing means we are passing a data, like data from the child to the parent. So this is a very important concept. This is how we pass the data in the opposite direction, and passing the data is always a problem in React. For that we have context API, for that we have Redux. Context API we are going to cover, but Redux is something which I have some playlist. You can see those playlists. Okay, so that is there, and so, and I'm not seeing any like and subscribe already. A lot of people are seeing this. Please do like when you always watch a video, and please do subscribe, and please do subscribe from your other IDs on also, because I need support, I need subscriber, because we are doing so much, 3 live streaming, nobody does that on YouTube. Only the big channels do that thing, which have 1 lakh subscriber. Okay, so we are doing a lot. Please support us by subscribing, not only to your own ID, but to your friend's ID, family ID, everybody's ID, whichever you have it on your system. Okay, please do that. Okay, and like this we are done. Now we'll do this. This is done. Now we are going to do a conditional rendering thing in React. We are going to do a conditional rendering thing. Okay. Okay. So what is this conditional rendering? I'm going to come here and uh, so conditional rendering means, so first let me have a new component like user greeting.js, user greeting.js, and here RCC and export default user greeting on will be there, and then we'll come here and do a user greeting like this, save it. Okay, so user greeting is coming. So conditional rendering is what we are going to okay, so let me first have the code, then I will tell what we're going to do. R const, and this will have a is logged in. Okay, is logged in variable it will have. So let me do here like this. Done. Here in the return, I will have like the first. Let me have this like this. I'll have a h1 and this welcome Bindu, and h1 and welcome is guest. So you all might have seen the websites in which if you don't log in, you'll see welcome guest. If you log in, you'll see your name. So all those websites we have seen. And then this dot set is logged in is true. So I'm mimicking. Generally, you get something complicated logic and login come, and you get some login variable as true. So if the login variable is true, then we're going to show welcome. If the login variable is false, we're going to show welcome guest. But how to show those things? Again, there are 4 ways. Okay, so let us see those 4 ways, because if I do right now, it will show both of those things. I don't want both of this. Depending upon is logged in, I want to show one of them. So let us see those 4 ways. So the first simple way is to if else statement. If else statement is there. So I'll come here and do a if and this dot state dot is logged in is like this, and then I'll have a return I'll have, and in return I will have this welcome Nabendu, or else return like this welcome. Yes, actually I'll remove this thing. So now what will happen? See, since the status is logged in is true, welcome Nabendu will show on. If it is false, this is one. Okay, so this is one way in which React. I've seen in production a very big 100 lines of code in this thing, but this is not a preferred way. I'll tell that this is not a preferred way. Okay, so we are returning multiple times, so this is not a preferred way to return multiple times. So we can modify this thing, because it's not good thing to return multiple times. So I'll have a let message like this, and then this message will be equal to this, and message will be equal to this welcome guys. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have one return and like this, and message like this. So it will be again the false is there, it is coming, and the true is there, it is coming. So we just modified it. So this is the method number 2. But the method number 3 is the one which is used the most. Actually, method number 4 is a different thing. But the method number 3 is the one which we are going to use the most. And for that, we are going to remove all these things. We don't want all these things. There is ternary operator in React, which when I was teaching the ternary operator in ES6, I told that, okay, not ES6 in JavaScript, but the ternary operator will use a lot in React. So let us use a ternary operator. Here what will happen, I'll come here and do a return, and this dot state dot is logged in question mark, and it is welcome Navindu or welcome guest will be shown. So like this, welcome number is been shown here now, and if I make it a false, welcome guest will be shown. So like returning this, so it's a ternary operator, such a shortcut for this. I'm seeing this question mark in the question mark. If this is straight dot is logged in, is true, I'll show welcome number. If this is false, I'm show welcome guest. So this is like this. It is working, and it is like true. So we'll see method number 4. Actually, the method number 4 is not the method. Uh, which is related here. Why it is not a method which is related here? Because the thing is that it will only be a if statement. We are going to see soon what I'm talking about. This method number 3 is the main method which you have to use. Okay, so now I'll go a return and do a this dot state dot is logged in, and I'll do a and I'll do a and welcome Navindu. I'll do. So this is a if statement. This is a if statement. This is a state dot is coming, and then if Navindu is I'm going to do. So why it's a if statement? Because the moment I do a false, it will go. Nothing will be shown. Only in the case of true it will show. So what is happening here? So we are using the and operator, but it is we are using the and operator in a different way. We are using it actually. Okay, what different way? See, and operator checks always the left operand and the right operand. So here what is happening? This stated is logged in, it is checking, and if it is true, then only it will go to the right hand side. This is a property of and operator. If one of them is true, then only it will go to the right hand side. If this is false, it will not even go to the right hand side. So we are taking benefit of that and showing it like this. So and operator is also used a lot in React. In bigger projects and all, you'll see and operator will be used. So that is done. Now the thing which we are going to do is the list rendering. So list rendering in React is generally done through maps. Generally not always done through maps only. We don't use for each or something, and we always try to have everything in a array in React. There is a benefit in having everything in an array in React. Okay, so we are going to see that, and list rendering. I'm going to name this thing as list post dot js. Why list post? And now we can have a functional component also. It doesn't matter because we are going to only learn how to do the list rendering. So what list rendering we are going to do here? First thing is that let's take some real world example like JSON placeholder. I'm going to do and post. So we're going to render this post. That's why it is known as list post. Okay, so as I told earlier also, this is a very useful way. This is the one of the most common way to move data around. Array of objects. Okay, array of object is the most common way. So we'll go here and the list post. I will do a const USDS const post equal to like this, and this is way too big. I have to make it small. I have to make it as big small. So I'll make it a bit small and all. So let me come here, and I don't know the user ID, and this is I need a title. Also title I will do a bit smaller so that it all can come in one line like this, and like this, like this, like this. So like this, I'm doing this, and yeah, user ID also I'll remove. I don't need this user ID like this, and that is done. Okay, so now I have this post. How to show this post? Okay, an array of object is the how to show this array of object here. So let us understand that. Okay. So we can show it with just a single line, and I'll do a post dot map. We are going to use a map here, and in the map I'm going to have a, let me name it a post. So map we have already learned. Post I will have, and I will show it in a like a h1 h1 and post. Okay, post will be this single object. Okay, post dot title I want to show. I'll save it and why it is not showing. Okay, am I showing the list post? No, I'm not showing the list post. Then why it is even not showing the user greetings? Save it and see it is showing. It is showing, but I'm getting a very big error. So you're right, Ankit. Yeah, I'm getting a very big error. Each child in a list should have a unique key props. Each child should in a list should be a unique key props. Okay, so this is the error which I'm getting because in React, what happens for performance optimization again, it needs each items of when you're iterating over it 3 times you're iterating, so it needs a unique key and it needs a keyword like keyword it will require keyword it will require. And what is the unique key here? ID is the unique key here. So I'll do a post dot id. I'll do post dot id. I'll save it. I'll save it and I will now refresh it. The error is gone. So the error is gone. Now I am to show all these things, and to show all this I can show it here also. But generally what happens, we don't show it here. We take it to another component and show it. So I am going to create another component which will be like list item dot js, list item dot js, and it will be RAFCE again. Save it. Now what I'm going to do here in the post, I'm going to pass this to the list item component. I'm going to pass, and what I'm going to pass, first thing which I'm going to pass is the key I have to pass, or else it will again give me the error. Key equal to post dot id, and I'm going to pass the whole post here. Post equal to post, I'm going to pass post equal to post, I'm going to pass and save it. Now to show this 3 list item, because I'm not using this props, so let us use that props here. So I will use that props instead of the using that props. I will directly destructure the post here because it is coming as a post. It's coming as a post. I'm destructuring this here, and then what I'm going to do here. Okay, let this div be there. We're going to use this div. Okay, so h1 I'm going to do h1 is id is like this. I'll show post dot id, then h3, and title is post dot title and p, and it will be post dot body. Body is a cutting in which the description comes. I'll show this, and this is how it has been shown correctly. Okay, so we are done with this trend. So now the last topic we are going to do, which is the styling the React component. So styling a React component, you'll see that okay, app.js, this app.css. So this is the most common way to style a React component, just like an HTML thing. Okay, so we are going to first style a React component. Actually, we are going to style this list item only. Okay, so for this, the most common way is the CSS way. So what I'm going to do in the component, I'll come and do a list item dot css, list item dot css I'll do, and here in the div I'll have a class. I'll have a class equal to container. Class equal to container. I'm going to have save it, and this I'll come here and dot container I'm going to have. So let us have some background color. Background color is light blue. Have some padding here, and padding 10 px, and I need a margin bottom also. Margin bottom, or else it doesn't show well. Margin bottom 10 px. But how to use it? So use it. Okay, I have given this container, but I have not imported it. So I have to import dot list item dot cs. You don't have to write anything else. List item dot cs I'll do, and it will be imported and it will be shown like this. Nice thing. Okay, this is the one way to do that. There are actually so the inline way. So inline way to represent the css is a bit different. So how to do it the inline way? So do the inline way. What we are going to do here? So here in this, I'm going to inline way. You have to create an object. You have to create an object like. Okay. So I'll have a const header header style equal to, you need to have an object here, you need to have an object here. Then I will have a background color and color like this, and padding like padding like 10 pixel. I save. Now how to use this thing? Use this thing in the h1. I'll have a style just like in HTML, but I have to use this header style. Okay, header style. And what is the spatial? So it will show what is spatial in this header style. So see, this header style is not a like a normal CSS style. It is an object. It is an object actually. And this background color, you see, background color is dash is there. It is like not like that. And in the right hand side key also is having this quotes, single quotes and all. So in the padding also it is having the quotes, and it is an object. Each one of them are by a comma. Comma is there at the end. So this is like this. It is there. And now the next thing is there. Okay, we can use it directly also. We can use it directly also. So in the S3 we are going to use it directly. So how to use it directly? We can do it like style style equal to single disk. See, instead of writing this thing header style, what I can do, I can take this and write it here like this, and it is totally fine. But this I don't mean want the background color now, but the color I will make it as maybe dark red, and padding also I don't need. I'll make it as text transform. I'll make it as uppercase and save it. So it will be like this. Okay. And when we do this type of style, we generally try to keep it in one line. So that's it. Don't go give much. And you see in projects, people using this way more than this way. Quickly, if you need to give some style, they will use this way. Okay. So this is there. Now, before moving forward, actually, I forgot to click. You can style it in anything. I'm showing all the way. I'm showing all the way in a single file. Okay. Wait, what I'm going to do here? No, I need to give the attendance. Okay. Because uh, yeah. So here, so we are going to see one more way here. See, there is a library which is known as Java JSON CSS library, which is known as a style component. So we are going to see that style component now. Okay, and it's external library, so it is known as a style style components. And if you go to this documentation and go to the installation, you have to install it because it's an external library. So I'll copy it and open this console and do a npm. It is a very popular external library. Okay, this is one of the way to give it. Okay, and what happened, it is very popular because css by default is global, so it also have this all global css localized. And the other benefit is that it has got some other benefits we are going to see now. Okay, npm style component, and for using it, what we need to do is import styled from style component. We're going to do now how to use it. So use it, we're going to see it from here only. It is very easy to use it, but we are not going to take this style. This we are going to take this example and actually okay, not taking this example first. Let us take something like, let us style this paragraph first. Okay, so how to style this paragraph? So const, and we always will take the style component as capital para style, like a style equal to, we have to take the style because it's a p tag, so style.p I will take, and then I can write normal css. The main thing is that I can write a normal css in this. Normal css like this, color like this, and then the font size, and then the font weight like this. I can write a normal css in this. Now how to use it? Okay, color as, maybe I'll make it as a dark blue. Let give it a different color. And see, this is a normal CSS. This is not an object kind of CSS. Now this para style I can use directly here. And now I save it. See, it is showing like this. One. It is even bigger than that. One. Yeah, okay, this is now looking good. Okay, so this is there, but there is a benefit for it which they are shown here, where you're going to use that benefit. You can use something known as props. Okay, this is a different props than what we have in React. This is external library, so they have also used this props, which is not a good thing. They should not have used the same name, but they have used the same name. They can do anything what they want. They have created such a great library. So I will cut it, and I'm going to use it like this also. Especially, actually, there is a button here. Button we are, so why this is a very cool thing. See what happens sometimes, as they're showing it a lot. Sometimes we have two buttons which have all the styling as same, only the internal and this things, all these things changes. Okay, so like that it is there. So I'll save it and I will do this and see. And I'll come and see this two different kind of buttons is this. How it is working actually. Let us see how it is working. So this style dot button is there, this button is there, then this normal I've written. So this is all normal thing. But when it comes here, it go to this background and it is saying that props, whether some props is passed. Actually, again I'm telling this props is a different than the React props. Okay, props no. In this no props is passed. So props dot primary. So and it will check if the props dot primary is passed. No, it is not passed. So background it will make it as white. Background it will make it as white. Color it will make it as pale violet red. Color means the text color. Second button, I'm passing something known as primary here. So second button, this props the primary is true. So the background color is this and the color is this. So this is how this works. Okay. So this is a lot of other cool features are also there, but this is just one of the cool features here. And we have come to an end today. We have done a lot today, and tomorrow we'll try to complete this. And also there's still life cycle methods are remaining. Form is remaining, and another 2 3 topics are remaining. So we'll do it by tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe we'll take it to the day after. So with this I will end today's stream, and we'll meet tomorrow. Please do like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow big time. Thank you Ankit. Please do like and subscribe from your family's IDs and all also. Please do that. Okay, thank you Ankit for watching.